time to talk about the McKinney Boyd Lady Broncos. 11-16 overall in the season, but 4-6 in district play, able to grab the final playoff spot out of District 10-5A in girls basketball. I'm joined by their head coach, Rochelle Vaughn. And Coach, congratulations on making the playoffs. I know going into the last 3 games of the season, you were 1-6 in district. You needed to get hot, and you did at that time. And a lot of people were shocked that you were able to go on that run and make the playoffs and defeat Allen and McKinney in those last 3 games.
Yeah, we kind of took the approach of every game was a playoff game. We had to win it. Our girls knew that. They took that approach. They kind of bought into it, and we executed the last 3 games. We've been playing very well.
One thing that you were telling me earlier in our previous interview earlier this year in January is that the one thing that would help you get to the playoffs is if your team picked up their intensity level overall. And I think definitely on the defensive side is where you really showed those results in this home stretch.
Yeah, I think the last couple of games we've been keeping opponents, their field goal percentage has been under 35%, which is what we want. And our defensive pressure has picked up full court. We kind of harass people into making different mistakes against us. We kind of game plan a little bit differently for each opponent we're playing against. Our girls have executed our game plan very, very well, which resulted in us having 3 wins, which we needed to make the playoffs.
Yeah, you blew out Allen by 20 points on the road. What allowed you to completely flip a result from earlier in the season when Allen beat you by 9 points?
I think for us, the first time we played Allen, it was a close game at halftime. The third quarter, we kind of lost it. That's where they got an 8-point lead against us by us fouling them and putting them on the free throw line. So we were very conscious, our girls were very conscious of playing defense without fouling. And that can be difficult to do when you're playing full court man-to-man, which is what we like to do. Our girls did a great job starting the game off hot as making our outside shots. We hit a couple of threes, and then we shut down their 2 best players, respectively, and kept them underneath their season average. And then everybody else just kind of picked up. It was a total team effort that game.
You've really needed, throughout the second half of district, Haley Carruthers to keep stepping up because she was injured earlier in the year, trying to work herself back into the swing of things, and she really started to excel here in the last 5 games of district.
Yeah, Haley's been a great key point for us. I think she had a great game for us as far as just being our team leader against McKinney. She only had 4 points, but I think she had like 10 or 12 assists. They had to guard her, and her teammates did a great job of finding her, and then she rewarded them by giving the ball back. So I think for us, when she plays well, her teammates kind of follow her, and she's been doing well for us the last couple of games.
Throughout the 10 games of district, you've had 6 different players that have led the team in scoring at one point. You've had freshmen, sophomores, all sorts of people stepping up. That has to make you pleased as a coach to know that you have multiple players that when the moment is needed, that they're able to come up and make some big shots or get in areas where they can score.
Yeah, I think for us, we're a young team that we keep developing, we keep getting better, and so I don't know who's going to play well, and whoever is playing well, we just keep riding that train with whatever players are doing well for us, and that's the benefit for us because a lot of teams we play against, they have 1 or 2 players that if you can stop them, you can beat their team. For us, that's a little bit difficult to do because we have Jordan Hernandez who can step up. Emily Disney has led us in scoring. Our freshman Alex Crane has stepped up big for us. Kyla Stampley, our senior captain, post player, has played well for us. Then we have a guard off the bench, Natalie Mena, who led us in scoring the last 2 games. So for us, it's not just Haley. So when everybody plays well, which we've been doing the last 3 games, we have been successful.
We mentioned earlier the defensive intensity that your team has played with of late, and also rebounding is a key area for your team because you are a smaller team going up against a lot of bigger players throughout, especially this District 10-5A slate. What's the key to when you have smaller players being able to get those rebounds? How do you make up for the height disadvantage?
I think the biggest thing about rebounding is effort. You just got to go do it. And we preach that every day. Yes, you have to block out, but at the end of the day, you have to get the ball. So we tell our girls, yeah, it's great to block out, but we still have to get the ball. And that's what we practice day in and day out is blocking out, but then going to get it. And if you want it, usually it comes down to who wants it the most.
You're going up against the 9-5A district champions in Richardson in the first round of the playoffs, and they're a talented team, very athletic, a guard-oriented team. They have several different players that can, score close to 20 points a game. What is, when you play one of those type of teams, when they have guards that can shoot the ball from anywhere on the floor, what is the key to defensively slowing them down?
For us, I think the first thing we're going to try to do is make it difficult for them to touch the ball. We want to make them, work for it, and when they do touch the ball, make sure we have a lot of help for our guards because we know they're very athletic and they're very quick. So our post players have to give us a lot of help when they do penetrate because they like to penetrate and kick. But then our guards have to do a good job of just making it difficult for them for 4 quarters, not just 1 quarter. I think by the 4th quarter, we're in good enough shape that we're following our game plan, we're executing, we'll be right there.
I think it's true for teams like Richardson that are some of the top teams in the area that they like to get out in transition. Usually the teams that you see in the top 5, top 10 in the polls, they're usually those teams that like to get on the fast break, and that's how they score in bunches. What's for your team, how do you slow that down? How do you make it a half-court game instead of a full-court game?
I think the first thing you have to do is take care of the basketball. We tell our girls, we can't have a lot of turnovers against this team because they are so athletic. They'll shoot layups against us if we turn the ball over. And then also taking quality shots. I think sometimes teams try to play with them and they shoot really quick, and then Richardson gets the rebound, they take off and beat you down the floor. I think, if they're taking the ball out the basket, we can set our defense and kind of slow them down because they do want to run, and we don't want to run with them. So we take care of the basketball. If we make, our offensive shots when we're open and don't rush it and try to go inside against them, I think we have a great chance of beating them on Tuesday.
What have the players been telling you, after clinching that playoff position? What have they been telling you about their feelings? What's the atmosphere like for the team? I know they've got to be beaming with excitement.
Our girls were very, very excited. We told them after the McKinney game that we had clinched when we found out that Allen lost. And that was our goal as a team, was to make the playoffs this year, especially for our senior group who I think the last time we went to the playoffs was 2008 or 9. So we're very excited. The girls are extremely excited. We're pumped. Our practices have been exciting the last couple of days. So we're interested to see how we're going to do when we go out there and play Richardson. We're very excited about this opportunity.
I think for teams that are consistently in the playoffs, that sometimes their players, when they get in, it's sort of expected. It's more of a relief. But for teams like you that have, been working up to this goal, it may be the one time your seniors get into the playoffs, and obviously the juniors and sophomores, they'll be looking to make it 2 and 3 times. But especially for those seniors, this is kind of the culmination of a great, career in high school.
Yeah, and we have 6 seniors, and that was their goal coming in. And, our juniors and our sophomores and our freshmen kind of bought into that goal. And when we found out we clinched, it was screaming in the hallways. Practices have been a lot of fun. So we're very excited. The girls are extremely excited. Our seniors are pumped. We have a couple more goals on our list we want to accomplish, and it starts Tuesday night against Richardson.
Coach Vaughn, you've done a terrific job this season to lead this team into the playoffs. Congratulations on that, and we look forward to having you try to get that playoff win against Richardson, maybe many more.
Thank you so much.
It's going to be a Tuesday game, 7:30 at Wiley High School. McKinney Boyd takes on Richardson, and you'll be sure to follow the Broncos. It's one of the Dallas Morning News. They list Boyd and Richardson as one of the games to watch, as well as McKinney and Skyline. So McKinney teams are ones to watch going into the playoffs.